We have a presentation, 18-367, is a request to receive and file a presentation regarding Bradley University's contribution to the city of Peoria.
Okay. I'd like to welcome Renee Charles and Dr. McDowell. We'll recall probably 4 or 6 weeks ago we had a presentation from the University of Illinois College of Medicine letting us know some of the exciting things that were happening there, and that was the first in what will be a number of different businesses and other entities within the city of Peoria that will come in from time to time and bring us up to date on what they're doing and what they have going on. We know that Bradley University is one of our largest employers. They employ over 2,000 people there and bring millions of dollars into our community, so we're really happy to have you come down and give us a presentation. Thank you.
The economic development opportunities that Bradley has, as well as a few other things that we do at Bradley that really helps with the economic viability of our community. Maybe. There we go. So Bradley's overall economic impact is around $310 million per year, and the operating budget of Bradley is $157 million. And when you look at full-time and part-time employees, there are more than 1,300 of them at Bradley. So when that trickles down, we look at the jobs that are created to support our employees. We're looking around 3,200 jobs in the local community. So as the mayor said, there is an economic impact that Bradley has on the community, and these are just some of the numbers most recently. I'm not sure. Cultural impact that Bradley has. So when you're looking at enhancing the quality of life, we all know that that has an economic impact as well. A lot of you may not recognize that Bradley does a lot through the community, from thought leadership and lectures, theater, musical performances, and of course we have our vocal performances, art shows, and all the athletics. So all of those are open to the community. Those help us to put money back into the community. All of those are open to you. Many of them are actually free of charge, so it enhances the quality of life, which, as we talked about, helps to enhance the economic development in the area. One of the things you've probably heard about, at least I hope you have, is the 3D printed habitat challenge that Bradley's working on. In partnership with Caterpillar and with NASA, we're bringing in teams from all around the world to work with 3D printers to print potential habitats that will go to Mars. NASA will be using these as prototypes to potentially put on the Red Planet when they take their missions in space. This is happening right here in Peoria, and it's happening with Bradley's help. Again, bringing people to this community, showcasing what we have in this area, that's helping people to recognize what Bradley really has and what Peoria has to offer. So the student impact. We have 5,400 or so. That's a rolling 3-year average of our students. They attend our community events. They fill the hotels when they come to visit. They eat out. They buy living supplies. They're putting money into our community. And when you look at our alumni, we have more than 14,000 of our alumni who are working in our regional workforce. We often talk about a lot of our graduates not staying in Peoria, but this shows you that 14,000 of them are in our current workforce right now. So we are trying to do what we can to keep those employees coming and staying right here in Peoria. Diversity is another thing that really enhances a community and the economic viability of a community. This class we have right now that just started in the fall, it is the second most geographically diverse, the second largest in history, and the second most ethnically diverse class in Bradley's history. So we are working on diversity and bringing more of a diversity into our community to help along with all of your efforts. Volunteering is something else that we feel Bradley has an impact in the community. Our students, and these are people who are 18 to 22 years old, they fundraised more than $141,000 last year for nonprofit agencies in the community. 46,000 hours of service that they put in, and that equates to more than $1.2 million that our current students put into our community. And when you talk about volunteering, we can't overlook our staff and our faculty, because the majority of people who work at Bradley are involved in the community. What you see here is just a handful of the places that our employees are involved. They don't necessarily have a badge on that says Bradley like you see with maybe the hospitals or Caterpillar, but just because they don't have Bradley's name written on their clothing or on their cars or on their badge doesn't mean they're not there making a difference. And when we talk about economic development specifically, the Turner Center for Entrepreneurship is a part of Bradley that's an outwardly facing organization that helps small businesses to grow. And look at the numbers here. We've served more than almost 700 clients in the last year. more than 3,200 counseling hours. The jobs that were created, the jobs that were retained, all of these numbers right here showcase what this particular organization does from an outward-facing perspective to our community. So if you're looking at having a small business and wanting to expand it, the Turner Center for Entrepreneurship at Bradley is one way that you can do that. And then the Foster College of Business is one of the 5 colleges at Bradley that also has an outwardly facing perspective. The Small Business Development Center, the Center for Professional Excellence. We also have our students working on student projects for local businesses, and they do consulting projects for local businesses. The numbers here are just within the last few years of what our students have done. Again, these are things that we're doing and our students are doing to impact the economic viability of the community. And of course, we have a huge project going on right now that's a 270,000 square foot, $100 million facility that will bridge the gap between engineering and business to help better prepare our students for when they go into the marketplace and go into the workplace, that they're more suited for the jobs that we have available and jobs that are all throughout the community.
So just yesterday, we had the topping off ceremony for this new facility. It was very exciting to see what was happening, and it's very exciting to know what kind of experiences we're going to have as a result of this new facility being put together. One thing about this building was it was initially called the Convergence Center because of the convergence between engineering and business. However, one thing that we've done at Bradley is we've decided to not only take this convergence between business and engineering and capitalize on that, we've decided to expand this to the entire university overall and begin to create a real unique learning experience that is really uncharacteristic of other universities around the nation. Instead of having individual silos where our students are learning individual topics or whatever it is that they're focusing on, engineering, business, education, etc., we're going to begin to create opportunities for these students to learn across those silos and with the external community as well, with external partners. And we call that convergence. This is something that we've decided to make a differentiator for the university, but one big thing about this is it also has such a great big impact on Peoria as well. When we talk about convergence, convergence is really being innovative and learning to understand how to educate our students in a new way. So what is convergence, and how does that impact the greater Peoria area? How does that impact our city? Well, convergence is really a dynamic learning experience that is interdisciplinary in nature. So again, students working across the aisles within the university, but also has that external partnership relationship as well. So we want all of our students, no matter what background they are, to be learning experiences, or have experiences all across the entire threshold, but then also be experiencing things with the Peoria area as well. One thing about this is that as we do this, we're going to better educate our students and we're going to be better aligned for a future right here in the area. I love this quote by Richard Riley. We are currently preparing students for jobs that don't yet exist using technologies that haven't yet been invented in order to solve problems we don't even know are problems yet. And I think that's a really good picture of who we are and what we're doing. If we talk about this convergence, while this is something that we're going to push moving forward, we're already really involved in this. In fact, if you look at the screen, you'll see engineering students. There's over 60 students involved in convergence-based projects with 22 external partners right here in the area. If we talk about the college, Slane College of Communication and Fine Arts, 495 students currently involved in 41 convergence projects with 34 external partners. Liberal arts and sciences, 71 projects with 54 partners. If we move over to education and health sciences, 205 students with 31 partners. The College of Business, well over 200 students with around 40 different partners. That's a lot of connections going on within our students and within the local area. That's over a quarter of our students right now are involved in projects that cross their discipline boundaries and are involved in projects right here in this area, which is very exciting. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get our students involved in these local opportunities. We're trying to get our students involved in development for the future. We're trying to get our students involved in local businesses and the local entrepreneurial ecosystem. And one way we're doing that is we're hosting events that help to facilitate the local startup and entrepreneurial ecosystem as well. In fact, just last week, and a few of you were there, we hosted our first Entrepreneurial Ecosystem and Convergence Conference, which had almost 200 people from the local area involved on campus, learning how we can work more together, how our students can be involved with them, and how we can move forward overall in our economic area. So really what we're asking for is we want the city to be involved. We want you to attend lectures. We want you to visit our classrooms, be guest speakers, hire our students, put together internships for our students, because there's so many different opportunities that we can all move forward together in developing this region and really become a leader. Again, I want to just say one more thing. We had a national speaker here that was here last week, compared Peoria to Silicon Valley. And a lot of people think, well, that's crazy. Man, he made a very compelling argument for why we actually excel and have greater opportunities for individuals who are looking at business development right here in Silicon Valley. So thank you very much for the opportunity to be here.
Thank you very much. Any questions or comments for Dr. McDowell or Ms. Charles? Councilman Graham.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I know I speak for everyone here. We're very excited with the development of the Convergence Center and what it means for interdisciplinary education. Could you just comment briefly on what the building is going to look like and how it's more or less reflective of the manner in which you want to operate and relate to the neighborhood surrounding Bradley?
Well, the building, as you'll notice, is actually a very attractive building that will enhance the western Main Street corridor. So the thought for that is that from the Main Street side, as you look at the building, there's an atrium that brings together the two sides of education, and it will really showcase a welcoming into campus, that we want people to feel like they can come into campus. It's the new front door. But then we also want it to enhance the look of the entire corridor so that people can see that as something that is blossoming and something that is building, and that will hopefully spur some economic development all the way through the corridor, all the way down to the other end, which is where the medical facilities are.
Fantastic. And, you know, we've had a presentation from Bradley recently about the interplanetary work that's being done. I'll just say that I think Bradley University is poised for a fantastic future. It's putting its certainly its business and engineering school and all the rest of the schools on the cutting edge to draw the best and brightest from all over the world. And we're proud to have you right in the heart of the city, and anything we can do to help, we're happy to do so. One of the things that I would say is if we ever have a chance to get that speaker to come back, the council would be very happy to hear what he is saying. We've known for a long time that our region and our city has a large number of very highly educated people, lots of PhDs around here, and let's not forget the Federal Research Lab and Junior College, Bradley, Caterpillar with their doctorates and master's degrees, a very, very highly educated workforce, our four-year medical school, etc. So we're so proud of you. It's fantastic. Thanks again for coming tonight.
Thank you. Any further questions or comments from the council? I would like to repeat again, thank you very much both for coming down tonight. If you're not, you're probably pretty close to having break here, so have a nice break over the holidays, and please extend our thanks to President Roberts for all the great things happening up on the hilltop right now. All right, have a good night. We have a motion to receive and file this presentation by Councilman Sears, seconded by Councilman Ruckriegel. If there's no further discussion, please cast your ballots to receive and file. The motion passes unanimously.